welcome to How to Get the Most Out of the AEC Collection. My name is Juliana and I work in marketing here at MicroCAD. And today's presenter is Andrea Gonzalez, our applications specialist. By the end of the webinar, you will understand the advantages of having a complete collection instead of each software individually, and how to get the most out of it regardless of the industry your work is focused on. Throughout the webinar, you can ask a question at any given point on the left-hand corner. You can ask Andrea to revisit a step or ask any questions. This is your time and we want you to make the most of it. And in the upper left-hand corner, you will find links to our social media and website. Also, make sure to check our YouTube channel. Also there, we post all of our webinars at the end, so you can share with colleagues or rewatch it on your own time. And without further ado, we'll pass it on to Andrea. Hi, Andre.
Hi, Juliana. So I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know what you can see.
Yeah, we can see it now. We can see the on-24.
Okay. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrea Gonzalez, and I am mechanical engineer. I am doing this live session on behalf of MicroCAD Training and Consulting, where I work as an AEC application specialist. Let's start letting you know a bit of myself. I have 8 years of experience as a system designer focused on plumbing, working with Revit and AutoCAD for drafting, modeling, project setups, MEP templates, and document management in BIM 360. I also work in project coordination using Navis for residential and commercial buildings. Having said that, I would like to welcome you here today in our webinar of how to make the most of your AEC collection. Let's see what is the AEC collection and what is included on it. So the AEC collection provides designers, engineers, and contractors a set of BIM and CAD tools supported by a cloud-based common data environment that facilitates project delivery from early stage design through to construction. From my point of view, and speaking as a user of MEP engineering design software, when I see the concept of a collection, I want to dig deeper into and try to find out how much it could help me to improve the type of work I do on my daily basis. When I see a package of 17 tools, too many questions came up. Questions that you probably also have if you are here with me today, and I hope at the end of this webinar are solved. So in here, you can see an overview of the tools included in the package. We have software for modeling, for drawing, software for analysis, and also software for documentation and coordination. Here, they are just mixed. I just organize it by colors. But I quickly will let you know what is the use of each one. So let's start with FormFit. This software sketches early stage design concepts in 3D. It connects with Revit, and it is like the equivalent to SketchUp. Then we have Revit. Revit plan, design, construct, and manage building with multidisciplinary BIM software. Then we have the Autodesk Docs. This is new in the 2023 AEC collection. This connects architectural workflows with a common data environment. Then we have the Advanced Steel. This does 3D modeling software for steel detailing. Then we have Insight. Insight, it is conduct energy and building performance analysis software. Then we have the vehicle tracking, which does vehicle sweep path analysis software. Then we have Navisworks Manage, which does class detection and advanced coordination, 5D analysis, and simulation software. The next one is the structural bridge design. This is a structural bridge analysis software that is pretty straightforward. Sorry about that, guys. The next one is Autodesk Drive. It is a CAD-aware cloud storage for individuals and small teams. Then we have the Autodesk rendering. It does fast, high-resolution renderings in the cloud. The next one we have in the collection is the Fabrication CAD MEP, and it is an MEP detailing and documentation software. The next one is the 3D Max. With 3D Max, you can visualize high-quality architectural renderings. The next one is the AutoCAD. I think this is the most, one of the top software in the AEC collection. And AutoCAD includes specialized toolsets and applications as the architectural, the electrical, AutoCAD Map 3D, AutoCAD Mechanical, MEP, Plan 3D, and AutoCAD Raster Design. Then we have the Robot Structural Analysis Professional. It does advances BIM integrated structural analysis and code compliance verification tool. InfraWorks does civil infrastructure conceptual design and analysis software. Recap Pro does reality capture and 3D scanning software and services. And Civil 3D does civil engineering design and construction documentation software. For understanding a bit how we should handle and use these tools without being confused, I would like to go over a super general workflow that applies to the industries within the AEC collection. I'm not going to go deeper on this. Each discipline could have a very specific and detailed workflow. I have seen entire webinars dedicated only to MEP or only to architecture or only to construction. This is just for giving you an idea. So the first step in this overflow is the design. So everything starts from an idea. So once that idea is conceived, it is time to create a model or drawing that reflects what we want to transmit for generating the schematic design. If the job will be done in an existing area, the existing condition must be considered, but not with documentation. Normally, when you have existing conditions are plans, PDF, or just printed plans. The best solution with the AEC collection in here is a reality capture with a scan done with Recap Pro. The second step in this overall workflow is analyze. In this part of the workflow, design challenges can be solved through rapid iteration and using the simulation tools. It is also the perfect time to add the file to the cloud for making the files visible, usable, and workable for the team involved in real time. The third stage in this workflow is optimize and detail. So it is time to be more realistic. More than knowing location and sizes, accessories and real-world elements can be added. For example, in a plumbing plan in the schematic design, we normally show locations and sizes for a schematic. But in this stage, we added the real length of the pipe, where it should be, the materials, the hangers, and so on. By having everything detailed and in perfect conditions of modeling, realistic renderings and estimate cost can be performed. And the last stage in this workflow is the coordination. So in the coordination stage is where the design relates to other traits. A building can be a building without a structure or without water or without HVAC or without electricity. So by having the model, back and forth information will start before construction. Having said this, let's put this puzzle together. So where should we use each software? So at first sight, when you see the products portfolio, you might think there's one software specific for each discipline, but actually the idea of the collection is the interoperability, which means that although there are specific programs for certain tasks, there are many of these tools that can work and interact with many of the disciplines. So on the one hand, we have in here the architectural, the structure, and the MEP engineering industry. In the other hand, we have the infrastructure design, and the last but not least, the construction. So let's start. If we see here in architecture, for designing and through all the process, we use Format. This is for sketching, just for sketching, Revit, and or AutoCAD. For analyzing, we use analyzing building performance, we use Insight, and for visualization rendering, we use 3D Max, and for document, we use docs. For the structural engineering, same thing for design, and through all the process, we use Revit and AutoCAD. For analyzing, we use Robot. Structural analysis, for optimize and detailing, we use Advanced Steel. For coordination, we use Navis. And for management documentation, we use Docs. If we move to MEP engineering, same thing. For designing and through all the process, we use Revit or AutoCAD. For analyzing building performance, we use Insight. For optimize and detailing, we use Fabrication CAD. For coordination, we use Navis. And for document, we use Management Docs. Now, for the infrastructure, we have transportation, site, and water design. For scanning, we use Recap Pro. For designing, we use Civil 3D, InfraWorks, Revit, and AutoCAD. And for analyzing, we use vehicle tracking and structural bridge design. For coordination, Navis. And for document management, we use Docs. In the construction, we have general MEP, structural contractors, not designers as we have here in top. So for designing and through all the process, we use Recap Pro, Revit, and AutoCAD. For optimize and detailing, we use Advanced Steel, Fabrication, MEP, and Navisworks. And for management documentation, we use Docs. I have to clarify in here where I am showing more than one software, in here, in here, in here, in here. It can be either one or both. They are not exclusive. As you can see here, there are many tools that can be used no matter what discipline. It is worth mentioning that there are software like Navis that accept extensions or programs that are not part of the AEC collection. So summarizing, what we have in the AEC collection is an integrated set of 17 tools that not only integrate and complement each other, but also speak the same language. By having this number of possibilities, it is easy to get excited about the things that can be done with it, but at the same time, it can be overwhelmed. You can feel confused. You can have questions like, which are the benefits? Does it make sense to buy the whole package if I only use one software? How much it will cost? How much time is needed for learning 17 tools? But I read a phrase that I feel matches perfect with what we have in here. Having a collection is much like having Microsoft Office. Not every employee needs Excel or PowerPoint every day, but the software is there when needed, especially as needs change over time. So companies can now reduce operational costs by standardizing on a collection of a technology flexible enough to suit the needs of a majority of users rather than managing unique software deployments for each employee. In the past, fluctuating staff size could mean companies had to make those decisions about whether to add or drop software licenses, and if so, how many. So subscribing to a collection, however, makes it much easier to manage such change. Acquiring software for new employees has a lower cost of entry, and you have more flexibility around who uses each subscription.
Andre, we have a question.
Yeah.
It says, as a project landscape architect, we usually collaborate with civil engineers and architects on site design concepts. The civil engineers uses Civil 3D and the architect uses Revit. Which program do you recommend that we use for developing early site construction and grading design concepts? Would regular AutoCAD be a good choice for beginning to the sketching before we add the 3D component?
Yes, it could work. I mean, if it is just for sketching, AutoCAD could work perfect. It is a good fit for starting just for sketching. Okay, so there's any other question?
No, not right now. You can keep
Okay,
going. Thank you.
okay. So, by having these capabilities in here, documentation, reality capture, detailing, computational and generative design, multidiscipline coordination, visualization, performance analysis, and virtual reality, we can get these benefits. As I told you at the beginning, I'm an Autodesk user. I spend most of my time in Revit, sometimes in AutoCAD. And after studying all the information I just gave to you, I was thinking that I didn't need anything different than those two software. Um, I changed my mind as I moved forward in my professional practice. I started by being a drafter, then a plumbing designer that was in the capacity of modeling my own designs and completed up to a 100 level of detail. That was super basic. Then I was asked to do a 200 and 300 level of detail drawing and model, where I had to do coordination with disciplines that were not done in-house. I mean, in the same company I was working with. The only way to accomplish that it was to learn how to use Navisworks and jump to docs, and I just simply say yes. What was the reason? As a professional, because that knowledge will be with me no matter where I am. And as a worker for the company, it opens a door for new business, which means more work, and it's beneficial for both. By having the AEC, I just had to contact my rep and ask for a training on the specific task I needed to achieve, and then just practice because learning is never done. I think the most powerful and common feature between all the tools in the AEC collection is the fact that it can do collaboration and the fact that the software was designed to be interoperable. So
Andre,
collaboration.
sorry to interrupt you. We have another question before we keep going. Um, are any programs embedded in others? I.e., does Revit include the same structural analysis as other structural programs?
I'm not an expert in structural. As I told you at the beginning, I'm an expert in plumbing. But we can keep that question for a team. It's our expert in civil, and we
Yeah,
can
sure,
send
we
you
can.
the answer. Yeah, yeah, because I don't know exactly. I mean, I just don't wanna to say something that I don't know for real. But we can keep your question and send it the answer by
Send
email
to one of our civil
after the
specialists.
fact. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So where I was. Okay, collaboration and reality capture have allowed me to be sitting in a different country where the project I have been working with is taking place. A barrier that collaboration overcomes is the disconnection between extension of services and prefabrication, or let's say better, the lack of information, because that was possible. I mean, the coordination has been done many years, but it wasn't effective. It has been done almost by hand with many errors and with wasting of time. But with the AC collection and by using complementary software, this is more accurate and effectively. I would like to show you one of the projects that helped me to understand why it was important to jump in an AEC collection. So I have here I have a Revit model. My designing here is just plumbing. I don't have anything to do with the companies that are designing other disciplines. So the other disciplines in here are I have electrical, I have M-pipe, I have HVAC, I have architectural, and I also have a structural in here. So I just need to attach this in here for putting all information together. I had to use docs for being able to attach and see other traits changes in real time and taking them into account in the early modeling phase. So I'm going to turn off the attachments, the models of the other traits, other companies. And this is my model. This is what I modeled. Once it was done, I exported this into Navis to complete the final coordination with the whole team. team that I have to say I don't work with any of them. I'm just doing the plumbing, and there are other companies that doesn't have anything to do with me, but we were working together. This is the Navis model. So then we have exactly the same model in here, the same models in here, plus the fire protection discipline that wasn't a Revit model. It was a CAD file, I think, but it's compatible and visible. And also existing conditions are given by a scanner. I don't know if you can see the scanner in here, and it is also compatible and visible. So that is just a small graphical example of what I have been talking the last minute regarding interoperability. So if I jump back to our questions, the next one is the $6 million questions. If I take the top products of the AEC collections and do the sum one by one, I will have a total of 2,520. But if I buy the whole collection, I'm going to pay 3,270, and I'm saving 3,270 per year. And I'm just doing the account with these 5 top products. Remember that we have 17 inside the AEC collection. So I would say that the difference in price, it also has to do with the fact that Autodesk is doing marketing strategy to promote the change from AutoCAD to Revit and encourage people to try the amazing improvement in time and effectiveness these changes bring. But that's another topic. So let's move to our next slide. So the reason of this webinar, how to make the most of the AEC collection. So identify the focus of your company. How is your team working now? And what do they currently produce? Do you want to open your business or move into any other related area of your business? What are your clients demanding now, and how is this likely to change? What are your areas of improvement? We are always have areas for improvement for sure. And by identifying that, you will be able to define if a collection is necessary. In my personal opinion, for the majority of scenarios, the answer is yes. The complexity of an AEC project demands tools capable of managing large volumes of information, as well as responding to the competitive needs of each client. It also should be taken in mind that the use of BIM will end up being mandatory, especially in those public works and infrastructures where this methodology is successfully applied. The next one is establish workflows. By having workflows defined, standardizations comes by the hand. And with standardization, it's easier to identify what can be done in a better way. Less time, less errors, and would be easier to find the correct application with the correct software for covering your weak points. The next one is embrace automotion. Using the automotion comes behind the workflow. But one of the key benefits of this Autodesk software is its capability to run itself. And what you are trying to achieve is a state of automation where you can focus on key decisions and leave the arduous and time-consuming admin to run in the background. By automating tasks, you will not only cut design time and improve handoff with streamlined data exchange, but reduce error, eliminate rework, and build trust amongst stakeholders. The next one is determine a document management platform. Don't forget that the AEC Collection offers access to Autodesk Docs and Common Data Platform. This is vitally useful. Autodesk Docs lets you organize, distribute, and share files during the project's life cycle from a single document management platform, all while retaining data ownership. Get Docs on site, and you will have a single source of information, giving your remote team access to what they need from a laptop anywhere in the world.
And there we have another question.
Yeah.
It says, our office only uses AutoCAD architecture solely in to the capacity. Is there any beneficial use to the other programs in the AEC that integrate into AutoCAD architecture without the need to draw or model in 3D, i.e., can you use any of this analysis software?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, if you are doing architectural in AutoCAD, I would suggest to move to Revit, because Revit can, I mean, you don't have to draw. I mean, in architectural, you have floor plans, details, sections, elevations. That is a big amount of job itself. So if you move to Revit, you can do the same by doing the model. So if you model your building, you will have automatically the sections, the elevations, the details. I mean, you will spend at least 50% less of the time. Of course, at the beginning, it will be um, frustrating, because you will be learning a new software, but it will be super beneficial at the end of the day. By having that architectural model, I don't know how your company works, but you will be able to be in project coordination that involves another traits as the one I just show you. So that will open you the door to find another kind of business, more than generating the architectural. So yeah, it will be super beneficial. I have done architectural in AutoCAD and architectural in Revit, and the difference is huge.
Thank you, Andrea.
So okay, so let's where I was, the automotion. Determine a document management platform, and select a proper training plan and support. So this answers the other question I have done before. You don't have to learn all the tools in the package. The training course that would have an individual sitting in a training room for a big amount of time is now broken down into teaching just the part of the software solutions which you need to understand in order to do your job. And even more importantly, you need to learn about interoperability between these solutions to enable the company workflow. We are no longer learning how to use software. We are learning a technology configuration that provides a solution. So by having the collection, you can also buy support and solve issues quickly with access to senior support specialists, moderated support forums, and exclusive training webcasts. And the last but not least, keep updated on what's happening in the industry. The true benefit of the AEC collection is that positions you to be ready for any future design challenges. Whether it's a move to BIM or a realization that you need to expand your current BIM capabilities, the AEC collection is the most cost-effective way to ensure that you are among the first to have access to the technologies of the future as they roll out. So don't be the one who stays behind. With the AEC collection, you will have more value, more flexibility, more simplicity, access to a wide selection of essential 3D design software for the work you do, interoperable tools for both CAD and BIM-based workflows. You can download and install what you want, wherever you like, whether it's for occasional use to meet requirements of a particular project or client, or just for explore new workflows. You can also use mobile apps and take advantage of the power of the cloud. Um, you can do smarter software management, and all that means money. I mean, if you improve your process, if your process is more effectively, for sure you will spend less money. So that was pretty much. Thank you so much for joining us. We sincerely hope that this information have helped to you have a clearest idea about the products, and also to encourage yourself to explore more, and why not making the moving and buy the AEC collection. Um, I mainly give examples with the engineering industry because it's my expertise area, as I just told you. But if you want to get more information in a specific industry, architecture or construction or civil, we have experts inside of our company. You can please contact Juliana, who is our marketing and salesperson. I'm showing her contact information here. And we have a small space for questions. So if you have any other, just let me know.
Thank you, Andrea, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, as she mentioned, you can ask a question right now in the left-hand corner. The first question I see is, what if I don't need every product in the collection?
You just can use the product you need and will get the most value from. If you use 2 or 3 products in the AEC collection, the subscription cost is likely to be lower than subscribing to products individually. So you will increase the capabilities of your business, simply software administration, and reduce the time spent from project start to completion.
Thank you. And the next question we have is, um, will I have rights to previous versions of the software in an industry collection?
Yeah, it is exactly the same. Like if you have the single subscription, so you can download the previous version in your Autodesk portal if you want. It's exactly the same.
Thank you. And the next question and last I see is, what licensing options will be available for the industry collections?
We have the single user access, so that just works for one person, that can't be shared. And another one that is the one I like the most is the multi-user access licenses. So that can be shared in a network server. So if I'm not using it, I just can close the program and the license will be there and it will be usable for another person. And you just have to pay one.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrea. So yes, if you want to also learn these topics in detail, you can always take a custom training with Andrea or someone else on our team. We also offer group classes online, and we have coming up next on March 29, how can civil engineers and architects collaborate effectively? For those who were asking about civil, that will be on March 29 at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have on March 30, why everyone is using BIM for construction management, also at 1 p.m. So yeah, thank you everyone for attending. And please be sure to be checking the MicroCAD website for future webinars. And that concludes our webinar today. Thank you, Andre, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.